All right, we're doing smoked queso today. So this is how I'm starting my fire. It's not a ton of charcoal. This is about a 45-minute to an hour cook. So it shouldn't take very long at all, so I'm not gonna load this up. So we have very little charcoal in here, and I have 2 chunks of, I did mesquite wood because if we're gonna smoke some queso, let's see if we can get that smoked flavor. So I've never done this before. You've seen my other video of the crockpot queso, so we're gonna do the exact same recipe, but we're gonna smoke it and see if it absorbs some of that flavor. So let's go cut up our ingredients, get everything ready. We'll start this fire. It takes me about a half an hour to get fires going. Maybe other people could do it faster, but so I'm estimating about a half an hour to get this up to temperature, which is gonna be 350. So let's go cut our food, cook the meat, and get everything ready. This time it's gonna be smoked queso. So it's the exact same recipe as we did with the crock pot, except we are going to put this in the smoker and see if we can get it to absorb some smoke. So the recipe, if you didn't see the other video, is 2 cans of Rotel, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. This is used for consistency. This is used to keep things creamy and smooth. So you won't taste any mushroom at all, but it is necessary. About a pound of smoked Gouda. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of Meat Church Holy Cow rub, and then a 2-pound block of Velveeta. We're also putting some meat in this, a pound of chorizo and a pound of hot breakfast sausage. So we'll cook that up in a minute, but let's get all of this, we'll put these aside, but let's get the cheese all cut up and ready to go. And then we will cook up the meat, get everything together, and hopefully our Kamado is up to temperature. We are looking for 350 degrees, and I have a couple of chunks of wood on there to get some smoke. This recipe, you can do this in a crock pot as we did. You can do this on a pellet smoker. You can do this anywhere. I have a Kamado, so we're gonna do it on the Kamado and see what kind of smoke we can get. Alright, so now let's cook the meat. So we have a pan on, it's on hot. We're just trying to cook this meat, brown it, then we'll have to drain the grease because there's going to be a whole bunch of grease. We cannot put this into the queso raw and then just throw it on the grill. It won't cook, so we have to cook this ahead of time. We're using 1 pound of Owen's hot breakfast sausage, and then we're going to be using 1 pound of Johnsonville chorizo. Same exact recipe we used last time because we want to compare the 2 queso dips, but let's just get this all in here. The goal is to cook this so that when we put it to the queso, all we're really doing, when we put the queso on, all we're really doing is getting everything to melt and seeing how much smoke we can get that to absorb. Alright, so we're getting everything into our tray here. So here's our 2 pounds of Velveeta, 1 pound of smoked Gouda. We'll go ahead and add our Rotel. 2 cans of Rotel. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. We have our 2 pounds of meat. This was a pound of chorizo and a pound of hot breakfast sausage. And then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of Meat Church Holy Cow. This doesn't need to be exact, but I like 2. I don't like much more. Some people do a lot more. Personally, I think 2 is a good amount because otherwise it's just going to taste like rub. Okay, so we'll go ahead. We'll actually mix this up a little bit. It fits perfectly in this size container. That's why I don't do the big ones. We'll mix this up a little bit. We'll go ahead and get on the smoker. I think we're at temperature. And honestly, if you don't want the meat, for whatever reason, don't put the meat. The rest of it can remain the same exact recipe, same process, just minus the meat portion. So we'll get this mixed and we'll go ahead and put it on the smoker. All right, let's go ahead and get this on. So we've got everything mixed. We're gonna be cooking again at 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. Indirect, meaning I have my heat diffuser plate in there. So we have our charcoal, a couple chunks of wood, our heat diffuser, and then we're just resting this right on top. We're not gonna cover it. I'll come back here and mix this up every 20 minutes or so. This may be done in 45, it may be done in an hour. We're not really cooking anything, right? We're just getting smoke into this and we're just melting everything. So coming in here, mixing it, making sure it's melted the right amount, and we're good to go. So we'll check on it sporadically and see where we end up. All right, it's been a little over an hour. Our temperature was about 300, not 350, so it took a few minutes longer than expected. So let's take a look. Yeah, we're pretty much all set here. So bubbling well. Yep, it's melted. So I think we're all set. So I'll give it one final mix. We'll go ahead and get this off, bring it in the house, and see how much of this smoke flavor actually gets absorbed into the meat. All right, so here's our final product. We took it off the grill, brought it into the house. Let's give it a quick taste, see how it came out. See how much of that smoke flavor it absorbed. Yeah, so that came out really well. So it definitely absorbs the smoke flavor, which is nice. It's not overly smoky, so it doesn't just taste like a grill, basically. So I would definitely do this again. Certainly, you know, lighting a fire, putting wood chunks in there is a little more complicated than a crock pot, but I would say it tastes better. There's a little more depth to the flavor than the crock pot, and if you remember, we used the exact same ingredients and did it the same way. But this is great. There's a hint of smoke, lots of flavor from the chorizo and the hot sausage, and it came out really well. So again, if you don't want meat in here, don't put meat. If you don't want it to be spicy, use something like ground beef instead of chorizo or hot breakfast sausage. And I would say out of those two, the hot breakfast sausage is definitely the spicier of the two. But overall, this is delicious. Perfect for a fight night or a Super Bowl or any other big game. But do me a favor, like, subscribe. Let me know, what you think. If you have any issues or questions, comments, let me know down below, and then I'll get back to you.